Welcome to Actually Contrøller, the podcast that is actually Contrøller, and we are actually in control of everything you are hearing right now. I'm so very sorry.
Hello.
Had to clap twice.
He had the clap choice.
Pills didn't take care of the first time.
Yeah, I mean,
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to Actually Contrøller.
So sorry.
Hi. You gonna introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm Chad.
I'm Steve.
I'm Bob.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Chris.
You
We're
got all
all
five of us
here.
for this one.
Everybody's
It's been a while.
here.
Bob graced us with his presence.
So
You
many-
shut your dirty mouth.
So many beautiful faces in this room.
Yay.
So today
Today,
we are talking about
The most random thing ever.
we kind of are actually.
yeah, it's a little bit of just a
And
pointless rant.
yeah,
So-
It's a
not
fun
pointless.
conversation.
It really is.
We're gonna go over
yeah.
one-hit wonders,
Or all of the encompassing of it.
yeah.
What
Right,
is-
Chris?
What,
Sure.
what is and what classifies a one-hit wonder?
And we were
Oh, he can't do it. He can't
he can't just hold
He's
the
like,
button.
I don't-
stealing my mic.
I
All
can't
right.
do it.
He's
You
like,
gotta
I
be
don't
a
want to get my
princess.
mic stand out of my car. It's buried.
I
I'm
mean,
going to be
that's
like
fair.
just like you guys.
You
All
gotta-
right, for
yeah,
the
that's right.
ones that are not subscribed to Patreon, Chris just had
Bring
to go
it
get a
down to your
mic
mouth.
stand because he can't hold his microphone.
I tried.
He
What was
tried.
that, 30
It was-
seconds?
It was just
And
too
it
much
almost
effort.
a whole minute.
Almost.
A whole minute.
Almost a whole
I was
minute.
really
You
proud
made
of
it through the
Kind of
introduction.
impressed.
I'm proud of you.
That's much better.
Ow, my arm.
Reason 47 why I'm not a front man.
Yeah.
I have to have somebody on stage holding the microphone for me.
It's
Yeah.
called a stand.
Not if I'm moving- not
In
if
all
I'm moving
honesty, Chris, I stopped using
Steve, you said
mic
that wrong.
stands.
Stage hand.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you could have somebody just
Anyway.
stand there and
Yeah,
hold
so
the
we were
microphone.
talking last week about one-hit wonders, and I threw some idiocy out there.
It's not
There's
his
some
stand. He
idiocy.
doesn't know how. He's going to completely screw your stand up, Jeff.
Please don't.
No, that's okay because it's going to get folded up for our
There you go.
show that we're.
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh,
There you go. We're done.
Are you sure?
By the
No
time
more-
this
no more
releases, we've already
talking
played
about
the
one-hit
show,
wonders.
but we have a show next week.
Yes.
So,
And before we fully jump into it, this is the just kind of wipe at the very beginning. If you are listening to the audio version only of these podcast
And you
episodes,
don't get to see me stand up and...
Yeah,
well, not only that,
Yeah.
but if you are listening through Spotify, Apple, any of those, you will notice that old episodes gradually are disappearing. That is due to our distribution company. There is only a 90-day hold on the episodes.
we like to call it graduation.
That's cool, too.
I like to call it falling off the face of the earth.
That as well.
Flat
And then
Earth.
landing in YouTube.
And then
Yeah.
landing in YouTube. So if you want to hear us on YouTube, all of the episodes.
Yeah,
are
all
there.
the episodes are on YouTube, or if you
And
want to see the video,
Our Patreon.
our Patreon is where all of the episodes are at. Everyone.
Now, granted, in about a year, though, that's going to start doing the same thing because
Correct.
there's only so much space on Patreon that you can have videos. But it's like the amount of hours worth of videos allowed. It's like it'll be about a year's worth of.
Mhm.
So if you want to wait a whole whopping year until you see the video versions, the old episodes after a year's worth will eventually.
So you can wait till like
Yeah,
Yeah,
once they
right.
drop off
Exactly.
Patreon,
file your
we'll
taxes.
shuffle
and
those.
then
Of,
that'll be your month. That'll be your yearly
yeah,
subscription.
exactly.
That's good.
And I think there's.
Would
don't
you like
quote
to
me on this. I
donate-
think Patreon gives a discount if you do a full year up one.
Would you like to
upfront.
donate $3 to the government? No, I would like to subscribe to Patreon by Contrøller.
Yeah.
yes, I mean.
Yes. There you go.
There you go.
We're not doing a tax write off. Sorry, we
Make
can't
them
help you with
pay
that one.
This is not a charity.
Yeah. Well, we are. But
totally a charity. That's why we're pushing it right now.
yep.
It's something
Anyway.
about a tour, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah. We are
helping
running the
completely
gas.
with the tour. Gas. Some places sleep.
Maybe
We like
even
eating.
like a candy bar
Yeah, I
we
don't
can
want Taco
split.
I thought we
You
were just
guys don't
selling
want-
Jeff on the
I
street.
mean, if we're
for a
living off
place
of
to sleep.
soup the
You
entire
don't want
time.
me to have Taco Bell every night. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
I love Taco Bell.
Especially if
I don't
we're in
mind Taco
the
Bell,
true
but I don't think you
hotels.
want me to-
Yeah, the true. As
Where
we
there's
were
no
talking on
carpet.
one of the last couple episodes, as we talked about.
Anyway, so we
Yeah.
were saying one-hit wonders.
One hit wonders.
One hit wonders. What
What
makes
makes a one-hit
a
wonder?
one
Yeah.
hit wonder? Yeah.
And is it a good thing, a bad thing? Kind of where's your take on the whole concept of a one hit wonder? Because a lot of bands get, knocked for, oh, you were only a one hit wonder and everything. And it's kind of a derogatory thing. where do you kind of stand with all
I
that?
think honestly,
I mean, what makes a one-hit wonder? I mean,
that was something we were discussing, because does it have to be like you hit it on the top 40, and like your major radio, or is it that you got popular in a niche group? Because there's that too.
Yep.
So,
or is it dollars, like longevity?
yeah, that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
Everybody knows
and it's kind of I think for everybody, you don't think about, about one-hit wonders. You can say certain bands that come to mind when you hear
Or songs,
the term,
Or songs, yeah.
but you can think about it and go, oh yeah, one-hit wonder, but until you're like, well, what is your definition of a one-hit wonder? And then you get kind of a deer in headlights, because I mean, I think all 5 of us kind of ended up as a deer in headlight, where
Yeah,
it's like,
we can't
so
come to a
is-
consensus on what defines a one-hit
Well,
wonder.
so a lot of one-hit wonders actually come more out of pop than they
I
do
don't know,
with
man.
rock. Dude, if you just think about it, you can go down like anything that was incremental, like song that just annoyed your soul
Well, so
from pop.
that's actually the definition of popular
Yeah,
music.
it's popular
because it becomes
music.
popular, it rises
Popular.
and falls, and it crashes.
So
to the
I
next
mean,
thing.
think about it. The biggest one-hit wonder was Aqua with Barbie Girl.
Was it?
Yeah,
I don't know if it
that's.
was the biggest.
I don't think it was. Well, it's the
It's
one that
up
everybody
there.
knows,
It's up
and
It's up there.
It's up there. I'm not.
I don't know the
okay,
song. How's it
Macarena. There's another one.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, Mambo number 5.
Yeah, Mambo number 5. So I mean, if you're just looking at it from the pop,
I mean, if
The
you're gonna go
Verb.
from if you're gonna go
Or was it
from
Verb Pipe.
yeah,
Verb pipe.
if you're gonna go from like the pop direction, kind of go back to the '90s. Everybody remember Seal?
yeah.
Oh,
Kiss
yeah.
from a Rose.
Yep.
No,
He
there
had a
was-
cat-
What about Crazy?
He
Yeah.
had Crazy, but that
It was big.
that's not most.
But the
See, so
popularity,
Beatles song,
when
yeah.
you hear of Seal, you
Oh.
hear of
When
here's-
Kiss from Rose.
Here's one for you. I don't even know, but I don't know the name of the band, but I know the song from the band was their only hit, "Breakfast at Tiffany's."
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of the band was.
Everybody want to talk about.
I actually saw that
Yeah.
on the list. that I
I'll
was
get
looking-
knocked down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chumba
Back it up
Wumba.
again.
But you could have put Ace of Base in there too, really.
Tub Thumpin'.
They've released like 3 or 4, but there's only just the one.
Yeah.
This episode's just us thinking about name dropping.
Yeah,
one-hit
it-
wonder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
there you
we're
go.
kind of
Name drop.
using it as
Anybody
a
want
reference
no,
point, but-
sponsoring? No.
to kind of clarify, though, I mean, by all means, please get into the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know what your definition
Of a
of a
one-hit
one
wonder.
of a one-hit wonder.
One-hit
is.
wonder is one that obviously hits the charts. I don't even know about top 40.
Yeah.
Maybe top 100.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But it's
I mean,
gotta
do
stay
I
on
need to go
the
to like a
top. You can't
list?
just-
And
Yeah,
look
it has
like
to
It
have
can't just
staying
hit the
power.
chart. It has to stay there.
It has to garner some popularity.
Right.
And then at that point, to that conversation on
Yeah.
Seal, it's got to overshadow everything else that the artist.
If
ever
anybody had their
has
Patreon,
or
they'd
ever
see me
does.
cheating, and I'm
All right.
totally looking at the list.
So I
That's
brought up one earlier. Radiohead, Creep.
Yeah.
yeah.
When people think of Radiohead, they don't know pretty much anything other than Creep, unless you are one of the big cult following of
I didn't
Radiohead.
know that I was a cult follower because that I knew other songs
Just
before
like what you
Creep.
got.
It's
See, I
fine.
don't.
Me and him were talking. Neither of us have any clue of any other radio. We know the band.
Are you
We know they're
serious?
popular. Couldn't
Yeah.
tell you another
I
song.
like all the stuff they did back in the day on Pablo Honey. It was on the radio,
Here's
like
one-
right around the same time
Here's
that
one-
Okay,
Nirvana
so then
dropped.
that steers the conversation. Like,
Like-
what one-hit wonder? They're not a one-hit wonder, but they're just not your cup of tea. Like, I can't name too
mean-
many country artists that obviously have.
There was the
chart
Wallflowers,
success.
Right.
Headlight.
You know
Yeah,
what?
like,
I
that's-
think
that's
I
gotta
think
be put in
country
top
is
five.
probably one of
Yeah.
those genres that will have like the least amount of one-hit wonders. I would believe
Oh, yeah.
because country followers are hardcore to
that's-
their.
well, my point was like
Can be,
you
yeah.
you bring up Radiohead as a one-hit wonder to you. My example last week, I'll throw it out there.
Yeah.
Weezer.
yeah.
Because I don't know their catalog, so I only know Beverly Hills. That's it.
Right.
I don't know anything else.
I've heard
And you
people
guys jump
throw
on that and say,
311 around the same thing.
No, and I will give you 311.
311. I'll give you 311.
Transistor or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, down.
I knew
Paralyzer?
Transistor.
Yeah, I knew Down.
And then, but if you ask like our buddy Andy, Amber would be the song
Right,
he would
yeah.
immediately reference
Yeah.
because he was obsessed with that.
Okay, if we're going
Only
rock,
because
now,
he was
now that I'm
drunk and
actually
he said that money was the color of his energy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm calling you out, Andy, if you're listening.
Buddy of the country.
And then he just fell over laughing because he
Points
couldn't
of reference.
believe
Steve
it.
just looked like he had a stroke. I'm sorry.
Yep.
You don't understand.
I don't think you understand how spot on I just did of
Yes.
recreation of the moment.
He was so drunk, man. He was.
Wow.
It was
Hey,
so good.
if we're talking about like what they classify with rock,
You're cheating.
I am
We're
cheating.
all just talking off
I
the
don't
cuff.
care. I'm
that
cheating.
doesn't
I'm
make it a
going down-
one-hit wonder if you're researching it. That makes it a Bob can Google.
I don't care.
It's a one-hit wonder. If
I
you
don't
can,
care.
You can pull it off the top
Hold
of your
on.
head.
First of all, I
remember?
don't.
What was the... Are we serious? I would like to cover that song.
Oh, the
Union
Union Underground track.
Underground.
I think we would...
I think that would be a lot
No,
of
I
fun.
think if we remade it, I think we would crush it.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I think we'd crush
So
it.
yeah, the song "Rockstar" I think is the name of it, but it's by Union Underground. We figured out
Okay.
because everybody kept saying that's Power Man, right? No, I
thought
don't think
it-
it's
you're
Power
right.
Man.
It did sound like
It does,
Power
it
Man.
does.
It does.
I played a sample of it, so it's
you want it, you need it.
but that also led to like Monster Magnet. They've
Yeah.
got the
Yeah,
one
Monster
hit
Magnet
that's
was
right at the
another
same
one.
time.
Jackal was one, wasn't they?
So I don't know of them really being on the radio, but those guys have been around like 30
Well, yeah,
years.
yeah.
Well,
but
and that's the
still.
other thing that you got to poke at. Like technically, I don't know if Tool ever really, other than with Sober,
Had
Because
a
the pot
hit.
hit the
did
radio.
anything on the radio
They
that
just
like
think
got
fest.
Right.
huge,
The pot.
huge on the radio.
Right.
The pot hit the radio.
There was
really
a couple
hard.
off of
Yeah,
Ladder
but, like,
Atlas too.
But
terms
yeah,
of,
that's
like,
why I'm getting
does that
like.
make-
Although they
Yes,
didn't, although
Odd
during
Motors
radio
and
play
sex.
they'd never called it Stinkfist
Yeah, the Stink
Yeah.
Fist and Prison Sex.
because I think they called it track
they
2.
call it prison.
I
sex
think it
on
was
the
called number 2.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and they also had Anima. And I'm not saying that Tool didn't have other songs hit the radio. That's the other thing.
I think that it also
Multiple bands that were one hit eventually had their label push out another song.
right.
That or a couple more songs.
To
It's
see
like,
if they
hey,
would stick.
please, yeah.
Yeah, so and we live in that era where
Yeah.
like record labels were putting like say paying for radio stations to play,
Yep.
even if it wasn't a hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were getting radio play in our market or in your region to try
Exactly.
and help
And so
drum up.
here's the other thing, because when you look at we all kind of grew up during the cusp of switchover from music videos and radio into streaming and different places to listen to music, and there was a period of time where I'm sure all of us weren't listening to the radio,
Right.
True.
You know, so
I did prefer my CDs.
yeah, or like I was super
Compact. I
awesome with
still prefer my
Napster back
CDs.
in the day, and then lots of like
or my
stealing.
cassette tapes.
Well, I mean, look at like a huge example of a band that is massive. I mean, massive that never really got the radio attention because they're being too heavy. Slipknot.
Yeah.
Slipknot,
Oh, true.
before I forget, was like the only track that ever made any
I
like
heard Wait and Bleed.
time.
Yeah, Wait and
well,
Bleed, yeah.
but not real amount of time. That was on your metal shows. That was on your later
Yeah.
night show. I'm saying
Something
you're
played all
you,
day long.
Yeah, you happen to be at work at
Right.
3:00 in the afternoon. The radio's going.
Yeah.
Are they putting that into the rotation and everything like that? Because that's when your average non-consumer of that band is going to find that band.
Mhm.
And before I forget, if I'm not mistaken, is the only track they've
Before you
ever
forget?
had. Yeah, before I forget,
Yeah, like-
was the only track they ever got into that sphere and everything.
well, and see, here's the
but
other.
they have their own festival they take around the world.
Here's
yeah,
the
I
other
think
thing.
I think
like,
the longevity of their popularity with all their other songs that's what's going to kind of steer that away from being a one-hit wonder.
would
though.
Cisco
Well,
the Thong
but is
Song
it?
fall in that?
So
Yeah.
here's the other thing.
I guess to some people,
two
yeah,
Live
that's a
Crew.
one.
Is it a one-hit wonder because they only have the one song, or is it a one-hit wonder because you only know the one song?
Yeah.
Like,
And
going
for
back to
me-
Jackal, like I
Yeah.
don't know of them except the fact that I opened for them, but
Right.
I don't recall them being on the radio.
For
Yeah,
me
Lumberjack
personally,
now, baby.
yeah, for me personally, when
Yeah.
I think of one hit wonder, it is I can only think of the one song from the band.
Weezer.
Yeah, I mean, and for you,
No.
for you, that's fine. For the rest of the world, not so much. But
Yeah, because
I couldn't
even
think of any
before
other
the
songs.
even before they think of that song, they're going to go, "Oh, the sweater song."
I'm just debunking
Or
your,
Buddy
your
Holly.
answer is
Yeah.
all I'm doing.
and I get
Or
that.
half
But
pipe.
I'm talking.
Like he said Radiohead, and he's like, oh, I'm
Well, and to give a caveat to it, the band where the majority of people, if you list the name, you're going to get a lot of huns. I think is probably the sticky note attached to that. You only know one song, and the majority of people, if you list the band name, are going to look at
very
you.
phenomena.
Yeah,
Extreme.
Now here's a real weird
yeah,
question.
extreme.
If we
Extreme,
go into
more than
some of the
words.
classic ones, like Ramones,
Yeah,
are they? Would you consider them a one-hit wonder?
No, and
That's
I don't
different.
even
Because-
know any of their stuff.
no, because but, no, seriously though, but the majority.
Oh my gosh.
but the majority
I'm sorry,
of the
guys.
rock world has heard the band name.
I want
the
you,
Ramones.
right? Was that the Ramones? I don't know.
No.
No.
No, even though I don't know anything
piece
from
of
the
bacon.
Ramones, I would not consider them a
jumps.
one-hit wonder.
No, but a band like Oleander,
Yeah.
I would count them as a one-hit wonder. They had one song that gained traction for a while.
Yeah.
That's not that they didn't put other albums out before or after.
I like the discs I bought.
Okay,
It's not
well,
that's a bad
But
album,
you're
but
right. Yeah.
Well, then in that outlook, would you consider Drowning Pool a one-hit wonder?
no, because they're getting picked up and put onto multiple festivals.
Yeah.
The only
And
only
it
song I know of
doesn't-
theirs is
Doesn't matter.
Bodies.
The majority of people that you ask, have you heard of the
Silence.
band Drowning Pool?
So yeah, I'll take back some of the ones that I've stated because, all right, apparently there
Okay.
are people
Well,
that
Soil.
do know more.
No, hold on.
How
Can
about
we-
how about
Yeah, that's another
the I would walk 500 miles.
fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right said
Blur?
Fred.
Right said Fred.
I'm too sexy.
Too sexy.
Yeah, that would have been.
God.
Everybody knows this
I'm
song.
too
No, hold on.
Right
Blur
said
song
Fred.
too.
The song.
Yep.
Can we at least be happy that these guys were a one-hit wonder? Crazy Town.
yes.
I liked
Yeah, but here they
Butterfly.
are 20 some years later and they get a tour
Yeah, and I like Butterfly.
after
That
they
was a
beat
good
each other
song.
up.
But sugar, baby.
yeah,
Took my
there,
money.
yeah, there was a lot of blood for that video.
Or-
it really was.
Isn't Vanilla
I didn't
Ice
have to sign
technically a
on.
one-hit
The,
wonder?
the band that was "So Help Me Jesus."
well, no, Vanilla Ice wouldn't constitute under that
Marshall's
definition as a one-hit
yeah,
wonder
Marshall's
because
Playground.
everybody that you ask
Sex and
knows
Candy?
Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice.
Blessed Union
Fair,
of Souls.
but he was only known for one song. Well,
What was that?
that's not fair because
Blessed
if anybody who
Union of
was
Souls.
a Ninja
Blessed
Turtles
Union
fan
of
knew,
Blessed
knew
Like taking
the
it way back to
second
the 90s.
soundtrack.
Well, and
shit.
that's what I'm getting
Put, like,
at
Counting
is
Crows in there.
if
Yeah, Counting Crows. But I
but
can't.
Counting Crows, a lot of people know that band name.
Yeah, but their only hit, as much as they've toured, is Mr. Jones.
Right.
Oh, now Long December, bro.
Like I'm
Okay.
saying, your
I gotta know the name of this damn
And
song.
I get
Did it
that, but
chart?
Chad, don't be over there cheating,
It's
looking
been-
stuff up. I got yelled at.
I'm looking up one song.
Steve didn't even catch that.
thank
He's
you.
like, I'm going to get my point across. What?
Thank you.
And he was midpoint where I dropped
Yeah.
an F-bomb on him.
I'm looking up one
F to the
Uckin song.
Chad, all right?
F to
Sorry.
the
Looking up one Uckin song.
One
He is.
song.
But that's what I'm getting at is for my definition. I'm not saying the universal definition because we've already established.
Yeah, there is
everybody
not.
is
Yeah.
like kind of fine tuning
Agreed.
what theirs is.
Mhm.
For me, my actual definition of a one hit wonder is they only had the one song that got traction, and if you drop that band name or that artist name, because pop artists, country artists, whatever, if you drop that artist name, band name to the general populace, are the majority of them going to look at you and go, I have no idea who you're
Now,
talking
and
about?
here's the other thing too. We're
Well,
talking
shit.
about
The
a
discount number.
generational.
That's the
There,
top
thank you. You took the words out of my mouth because I was
What's
going
up?
to say that.
What did you say?
What'd you say?
I was gonna say here's the other something too, being that we're coming out of a zeitgeist, if you will, of time in our generation where if we were to ask like your kid, his entire
Oh, yeah,
idea
it's
of
gonna
one hit's
completely
gonna be
change.
completely different.
Okay,
you know?
so it's the Toadies,
the Toadies.
Possum Kingdom.
Yes.
I have heard of the Toadies.
You can also talk about how accessible music is nowadays.
That's true.
People are trying.
Which
to be
I
the
do have a
one-hit
story
wonder,
for that
so that way
song.
they can get some traction to maybe go bigger.
Isn't
Yes.
Hole a one-hit wonder?
I mean, they could be.
So-
Your whole.
So how about Skrillex?
I do have a weird story.
I would
Skrillex.
think, yeah.
I do have a weird story with the Possum Kingdom song.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sitting at a red light and
Story
there's
time, hold on.
a funeral that starts driving by
Mhm.
just as the song was starting to reach that point of "Do you wanna die?"
Oh, no!
I'm like, oh God, no!
Oh, Steve, what the heck?
I abuse you.
It's like that is probably one of the worst
We need
timing
love.
for a section
do.
of a song
We
to
do.
hit.
Or the
yeah,
best.
that's
Or the best. Oddly enough, I think on my
Like, no, I don't.
one of the bumper stickers on that car said "I'd rather be dead."
Oh, wow.
Chad immediately put it in park and
He just let the whole thing just pass by. And
Yeah.
like, I'm going to sit here and not look. But yeah, it falls under the. Where do you? And this is why I was saying, get in the comments, share along what your definition.
Your
is.
definition of a one-hit wonder, and throw a
Because-
name out there. So maybe a song, because we've thrown around a lot of names and bands.
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
such.
we've been name dropping this
be,
entire thing.
Be nice.
yeah,
Yes,
be
please.
nice.
So
But-
when I say Weezer and you say "fuck you,"
Right.
Yeah.
But and to Bob's point though, where he's bringing up Vanilla Ice, yes, he only had one song. However, he used, and this is why I don't define
sold
him
out.
as well.
The Ninja Turtle song?
Go Ninja,
Go Ninja, go Ninja,
but. My wife will literally rattle that whole song off. She loved that movie.
Dude,
but,
I love Teenage Mutant Ninja
yeah,
Turtles, dude.
but the reason why I was going to say that I don't constitute somebody like Vanilla Ice under the one-hit wonder is for one reason and one reason alone. People and artists like him use the marketing tools of that one song to put themselves into the zeitgeist for decades to come,
Right.
to where
So I'm
you
gonna-
know them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree because he's still a one-hit wonder. We're not talking about longevity.
No.
We're
he-
talking about he's
He had-
only known for one song.
He had that
Whether he tours for another
metal.
20 years from now,
Ice Ice Baby
he's
will
still
be.
hanging
It will be.
everything
He will never be
on
able
the
to
one
come.
song.
He will never
So
be able
here's
to
the
come out from
question.
underneath the shadow
Here's
of
the-
Ice
He'll
Ice.
never-
Here's the
he
question.
doesn't have another hit.
Remember, he did Ice Ice Baby again with Korn and changed it.
Yeah,
It don't
the
matter.
full metal
He
album.
still will
He
not
released
get
the
out
whole-
from
yeah, rock
underneath
metal
the
album.
shadow
Sure.
of one song.
But
And I get that.
and honestly, morbid curiosity, I bought it because I wanted to hear his rock version of that song.
Yeah.
Who
not
were the-
for any other reason.
Who were the guys that got busted out for lip syncing? They
Milli
only
Vanilli.
Had,
No,
yeah,
Milli
they
Vanilli.
only had
Dude.
like one hit wonder.
Blame
What
it on
song?
the
I don't
rain.
even know. Oh, that was the-
Blame it on the rain.
Yep.
was
You also had Crisscross.
falling.
Crisscross is going to make you
No.
jump,
Jump,
jump.
No.
I don't
Yep.
even want
Tag
to talk,
team.
I don't even want to talk
Tag
about
team.
Crisscross.
Back
Back again.
again.
Whoop, there it is.
Whoop! There it is.
So,
Thought you knew.
but there's a slew.
Oh yeah, there was.
There's a slew of different one-hit
Connection.
wonders we can throw out. But this kind of then revolves over to the talking about Vanilla Ice. Kind of leads into the. It gets used as such a derogatory term though? Do you feel that a one-hit wonder is a bad thing to have happen to
yes.
you?
Absolutely not. No. I
No.
think it's a wonderful
I'm gonna
thing.
I don't think
I'm gonna
so.
Say no.
I'm going to say no because
I think
there's
it is.
still a lot of times they're still
Absolutely
riding
great thing.
off of the popularity
Yep.
of one song. They can get people to go to concert just to see
Dude,
one song.
If anything, it is
Okay.
100% the best marketing for any one song to get that popular. You know, like there are plenty of bands that are and musical artists that are out there that might be known for like 2 or 3 or 4 songs, but it's small groups and it's just their niche people that are listening.
Yeah.
Whereas these guys, they got that one song that literally it's infectious. If you hate it or if you love it, you know it.
Yep.
oh, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
That's a whole other angle.
No.
Baby
the
Got
one-hit
Back.
wonder
Yeah.
isn't always because you liked it. It's
Yeah,
a one-hit
no,
wonder because it's literally the one hit that they had, but
Yeah.
you still are in
Well,
the
and-
minority.
And you think about like outrage marketing and stuff like that too. Like we've seen it now. Like having everybody hate you and talking about you doesn't
But-
necessarily mean a bad thing for you. You can make a crap ton of money off
For
of it.
Look at
perspective-
Nickelback.
Right.
For
That is literally their
perspective,
catalog
If
is-
we had a song that hit and it was the only song ever, forever and ever, but it afforded us a better lifestyle because record labels are throwing money, radio stations, whatever, wherever the income from that.
Yeah, we're
point.
getting pulled onto
And we're
festivals
starting to
just
do
because of that.
festivals.
That was
And
Chris's
it's only
point.
because we have one song that hit, even though you guys, even before me, have a catalog. With
That was
70.
Chris's point of view of us with Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Pinocchio was our one-hit wonder to Chris.
It's just my favorite. I like all of them.
That's fair. That's fair.
No,
And I don't remember song titles, so that's
I
not
know.
even fair.
I'm only picking on you because I have that knowledge.
Ooh, speaking of that, I'm considering bringing the Agazarian chinas that I have and selling them
Yeah.
as an exclusive merch item at.
That'd be cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
very cool.
That'd be cool because
Even though this is going to air after the show.
Yeah.
yeah, but we could still have it there. And
So maybe you're
if
the lucky
they-
person that purchased it.
if they didn't sell by the time this episode comes
Yeah,
out.
I'm lame like that.
So, Bob, you seem to be kind of on the contrary. Where are you? Why are you sitting with the one-hit wonder is bad?
Yeah.
See, so my whole outlook of the one-hit wonder being bad, me personally, I don't want to be known for just one song. I think that's actually, maybe it's because I'm the vocalist. I don't want to be just known for one song. I want to be known for the catalog and everything I have to say, as opposed to just one lyrical concept.
But I
well,
mean,
and I
is
can
it
say
so
I would
bad,
assume
though?
every artist
So
is that
would you
feeling. though.
Yeah.
would you rather stay where we are currently forever and ever, or
get
have that one-hit
one
wonder grab and then branch that
Is
into
your
other
meal
markets,
ticket for the rest of
maybe
your life.
even across the country,
Or
and
worldwide.
reach more people than staying here where we're at forever and ever.
I would like that one song to grab and open up people's eyes to the other good music.
Well,
I'm
and
sure
then a
that's
lot
what
of
they
times that's
wanted.
what they do. It's just the majority of the populace out in the world are going to know the one song for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just for sure, they know that one song, and then that's going to bring in the fans that do know the rest to go, okay, but here's their other stuff.
I will say one thing: if your one-hit wonder is so left field of all your other catalog,
Well, that would be Toto.
yeah, like
Literally, Toto still screams about that to this day.
Exactly.
That they hate Africa being the thing that blew them up because it is 100% polar left field of everything else they've ever released. And every time people would come to their concerts, they would always end up with people like, oh my God, that was a crap show. Because they were expecting a whole show of like Africa sounding.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah,
guys.
man, nice shot.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, but why does Africa not have vampires?
Oh no, why?
Because God's blessed the rains.
So speaking of
But
social
was
interactions,
rough, man.
he
My
needs to
brain.
start his TikTok now. So
yeah,
you just opened that can of worms, buddy.
yeah, you did. Get back on it, bud. It ain't going anywhere. You can tell. You stop using that excuse.
There you go. There's the resurgence. You've now seen
But-
the revitalization.
Chad, I almost turned off
Yeah,
my
jokes.
mic.
Yeah,
I was about ready to leave.
but with the, I'm trying to pull it back.
I'm
trying to pull
sorry.
it back.
I'm sorry. I couldn't
No,
help
this is
it.
supposed to be a
couldn't
banter
help
episode. Let it go, Steve.
I'm sorry.
Just let it go.
Let it go. No, I got to be careful. I can't have Disney.
Oh
Come on.
yeah.
Oh man.
No.
Whoa, that's a
No.
whole other avenue of
Yeah,
one-hit
you don't want
wonders.
that chasing your
Hashtag
tail.
Yeah.
retake because
that
I just
count?
said it
Yeah.
twice. So
Does it count as a one-hit wonder?
what?
So would you put a Disney
Disney?
song under Disney?
No,
Or an
because
composer?
Disney is Disney. Disney is its own thing.
Disney is
the
this
devil.
entire own empire
This
Yeah.
is true.
on
you open that-
everything.
Yeah, there might only be one song from that movie
Disney
that's known,
owns
but
everything.
Dude, they own me.
They own the one-hit wonders.
some of them.
Oh, by the way, Disney, buy one of our songs.
Yes, please.
No, I don't even want to sell it to you.
Oh, we could go touring with Slipknot though. They're on Disney.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, then Disney buy our stuff.
Well,
See how easy that was? He's like, what?
I mean, Star Wars is under Disney now.
Yeah,
so I'm-
dude.
Yeah, but it hasn't been the same since.
Yeah, it hasn't. That is true. But,
But-
it's still Star
Okay,
Wars.
now we're getting way.
yeah.
All right, now we're getting out
So,
of left
oh, now I'm Steve, pull it back.
Yeah, come on, Dad.
More dad jokes.
But
I'm
with,
sorry.
no, you do not burn your stock on this platform. You keep that stock for your platform. Thank you
Coming
very
back
much.
Jeff just snorted. That was great.
But with the
They're just falling over each other trying to speak at the moment. It's really
Yeah.
funny.
That's how it is.
I mean,
just sit
this,
here-
I
and I
want
just sit
to
here
see
watch
the
them let them do it.
auto-populated closed caption attempt
Oh, God.
on this one.
This is the real controller.
it's just going to be a jumble of words because they can't
question
pick-
mark, question mark, question mark. What? Question mark, question mark, question
So,
mark.
since I only know one song by the Beatles, does that make them a one-hit wonder?
No,
I
wouldn't
wish.
even
They
say
have
they're a
whole
hit.
album.
I
called
hate the
The
Beatles.
number ones.
Well, and
And I know,
disliking
it's,
them or
I
like
know it's not popular opinion.
To
I'm sorry,
clarify,
guys.
No,
I'm saying about-
I'm right with you, Bob. I'm not a fan.
I'm
of
not a
Beatles.
fan.
right? But to clarify, we talked about chart topping.
Oh.
We're not talking like top 40. They have 27 number one hits.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they
So
are
it's
not.
I think I've heard one of their songs one time.
Well,
I'm sure you've heard more.
No, hold on. Do you know what hurt my feelings? You guys
I'm sure
remember the
you
show
heard
Wonder Years?
yeah.
And I just,
What would you do
if I sang
Don't
out
sing
of
all of it, we'll get
tune?
copyright
Yeah,
struck.
but either way, I did not realize that was originally written by the Beatles.
Was it?
Was it? I thought it was
Yes.
just Roy Orbison.
What would you do if I
Yeah, I was pretty
sang
sure it was
out of
Roy
tune?
Orbison.
Would
I thought
you
it was Roy
stand up?
Orbison.
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, now's the time to get the phone out.
Somebody
Now,
look it up.
it-
Google.
now,
Now
now
I'm
is
looking
our
at my
next
phone.
conversation. Covers of covers of covers.
Yeah.
But
But no.
when you
Stay
bring up
tuned for
covers
next
or
week,
when you
where we
bring
talk
up
about the
covers
kickbacks.
of covers, do we bring up that technically "Stairway to Heaven" is a cover?
It is.
And technically,
No, because they no.
Yeah, it's a
They
canon.
won, no, they won
These
in
guys are
court that
screwing
it
next
is
week's-
not.
Hey, can it?
technically, Elvis Presley never wrote a single one of his own songs.
Correct.
Technically,
Neither did Whitney Houston,
Mhm.
and her biggest hit was written by Dolly Parton.
that's amazing.
Who? Speaking of Dolly Parton, Do you know
Yeah,
she's
her
coming out
rock
with a
album? Yep.
I'm morbidly
excited
curious about that.
I am excited.
I'm a little too.
She's got so many names on that thing.
Yeah, she
Come on,
does.
Check
And
that.
remix.
A rock album?
Yeah,
So she got inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
As
And
well
she's
as
like-
she should.
No. She actually said, "No, I'm not a rock musician. Why
Right.
am I being
Ever.
inducted into
Yeah.
the
Never
Rock
have
Hall of
been.
Fame?" She's
Rock and Roll
never
Hall of
released
Fame
any
lately
rock
is-
music.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame lately has been inducting a lot of people that are not within a rock
Yeah,
genre.
that's why.
Yeah.
If they're going to
So-
induct everybody else, they might as well give it to
Well,
somebody that
she
truly
publicly
deserves
said
it.
no, and now that she's in, she's like,
I'm going to write a rock album.
album.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to check.
She's going to be. She's going to be bomb.
She's
I
got
want to hear her
30
do a
it's
guttural
it's like a
scream. It would be
big
great.
compilation. So it's like 30 tracks. She's got like 22 guest artists on it. It's
amazing.
ridiculous.
Right.
I'd
Wow.
ask a friend of mine who is a huge Dolly fan. I was like, "Is this real or is this just a viral?"
And I was thinking
Farce.
the same thing, and then I saw the PR
real.
stuff over, like, when I was in Target. I'm like, oh, no, it's a real thing.
I know
Totally.
after
So we're talking about
podcasts,
one hit
I know
wonders.
what I'm looking at.
Dolly's obviously the complete 180
Oh,
opposite
yeah.
of one hit
Yes.
wonder. But wow.
But yeah, it's one of those-
I think with Dolly, I think it's
be a one-hit wonder.
people.
Silverchair.
I don't know, and that's where it gets into this really sketchy area, kind of like we were
What
talking
song?
about Cold Chamber earlier,
Uh,
where yes, their only popular song was "Loco." Yeah, tomorrow.
They also.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. They also
But-
did that one song with Ozzy.
Yeah, Shock the Monkey. But
But that's a cool
here's
collab,
what we're
I guess. I
here's
don't
what
know.
we're ultimately getting at, though, is there's bands that have a following that we all, for the most part, know of, at least heard of.
right.
Yeah, so when he mentioned Silverchair, I was like, I like those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
do
I,
too.
I
I
love
could-
Silverchair
I
too.
could mention a dozen songs.
Same.
but
Yeah,
you're
but,
probably right.
I mean, I don't really like the Diorama or Young Modern or anything like that, but I like everything prior. But
Right. I liked Neon Ballroom.
yeah, I love Neon
Yes.
Ballroom. But
year 2000.
yeah, the problem is though is bands like Cold Chamber is a perfect example. I don't, as far as I'm aware of, they never got
Who?
Cold
anything
Chamber.
on the actual radio in the
I've seen
chart level
Yeah.
of stuff. Where the kind of like we were talking about, Slipknot got Wait and Bleed into the
Right,
late
but
night metal
does
shows
that
stuff like
count?
that.
But were they getting radio play? And was
It-
that radio play as a result of their record label or maybe a regional DJ in our areas? Like, for instance, we know a local
Yep.
DJ
It was-
that has a little bit of creative control and be like, he's playing music that isn't really mainstream
Well,
and will never even be a one-hit wonder, but we've heard it because it's in our area.
I do remember that they were on the Resident Evil soundtrack, and so therefore it was getting played all over the place.
Well, and like another perfect example of a band that really never got
That's a Patreon moment.
That is a
Yeah.
Patreon moment.
that never really got any real radio attention as far as I'm concerned.
Who?
Seven Dust.
Yeah.
They're about ready to release their 17th album.
Dude, those
Right.
guys are beasts. I love
Wow.
those guys.
I love them too,
they're
but
amazing.
if you're gonna really think about a band that has a cult following,
Even Lou
and
Brutus
it had
said, yep.
nothing to really
Yep.
do with radio, because they've admitted, many DJs have admitted,
You can-
they've never gotten the attention.
You can throw Non-Point on there. Bullet,
Yeah,
bullet with a
Non-Point.
name.
Yeah.
And
In
I
the
actually
air.
dislike that song.
Oh, I'm in the same boat. Thank you. Thank you. I always feel bad when
I
I'm
love
like, that song's.
And they're independent now, so
Yes.
check them out.
Yeah, they're good.
But-
Support independent artists.
Yeah, Seven Dust,
Yeah.
like, they had Angel Sun, and the only reason that really blew up was unfortunately due
Yeah.
to the circumstances around writing that song.
Yeah.
Because
John still has
Sublime was
trouble
so
singing that
big. Like,
Well,
no, that was because they wrote that for the lead singer
for
Snot when he died.
Yeah, Lane, Lane
still.
died, and his doggy did too. That was a really sad day. I was supposed to go to that particular Ozfest, missed
They were
out
all
on
friends with everybody. Like, that's.
it. Like they grew up all together. That was
know.
like their.
That's
buddies.
You all know the song "Hunger Strike."
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that count as a one-hit wonder?
Well, I see. Here's the hard
There's a whole
thing.
album. For
Right.
that. There's like 7. It's a 7-track.
It's like it's 8 songs or
But it's
something.
the only one that really grabbed
Was-
and it became huge.
But
it did,
hey,
but,
but
it was a
technically-
super group. It happened one album just to kind of get it out of their system.
Does it count?
I
Yeah.
don't know, and that's a good question for
Or
all of
Mad
you
Season.
to answer.
Comments below.
Mad Season even with Lane Staley.
And I mean, then you can also get into the really hairy area of bands where they had multiple songs pop only on one album, and then no matter how many albums they put out after that, nobody paid any attention.
You know who I'm gonna put? You might know.
I'm gonna say I got a band, and I'm curious if
I'm
you're
gonna
the
say
same.
Bush.
Bush is yeah.
Yeah,
you want
that
another
first-
band that's in that same group that happened at
first
the same
album.
time?
First album
Huh.
was the only one that did anything. Yep.
Candlebox.
I don't know
yeah.
their catalog.
Candlebox.
That
You
album, over
changed-
half of it blew up.
So 16
Not
Stone,
a
exact same
single
reason.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stabbing Westward.
Stabbing Westward really only had one song that
Yeah.
did okay.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
Well,
Not really a
that
hit.
would be the one hit wonder.
Yeah.
Kind of
That
thing.
would be the one hit.
But that's
Was
what I
it-
was getting at.
but
Then you
was
get
it a
into
hit?
that like hazy area of the
Or was it
band
just a
that
wonder?
cultivated that perfect first album.
I'm
And then
wondering.
nothing else.
And you can tell that they put all those years into making sure every song was refined and everything like that. But as soon as they got popular, the label pushed for another one because they didn't have the years to build another album. They're like, nope, go.
Yeah.
They weren't built for that.
Yeah, Bush-
and then they just
16 Stone, that's like 13, 14 tracks, but like
Yeah.
9 of them hit the radio.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then subsequently, every other album they created, they
Just-
had a song hit, but it never really grabbed.
Yeah, it
and it
never
was
grabbed.
like, oh, here's the new one from Bush. And then they play
Yeah.
it for a couple months and it's just kind of gone.
Yep.
But still to this day, songs from 16 Stone, Everything's In, drawing a blank now, but
Machine Head.
Machine Head.
Yeah.
All these songs are still being played over top of the
Glycerine.
rest of their catalog. So
Yep. Well, and I mean,
are they a one hit wonder? Because that's like
you can
a
kind of
nine-
get into
they're a
that like
9-hit wonder.
gray area for like even a band to the level
And
of
I think
Stain.
some of this starts getting into the generational
Yeah.
drop
Yeah,
off.
yeah, and because I was going to mention similar to Stain, like the Offspring.
yeah.
You know.
Stain, you mean Bush?
No, I was saying no. I brought up and I'm like, even you could even possibly throw out like Stain.
Yeah, and he's like-
because it's been a while, blew up, but really
Mud Shovel was pretty big.
Okay,
Much
I'm
was
sorry
huge.
to all the fans, but
But-
I got to pee.
And he's-
I will give you this if
Don't
if-
laugh at me.
If it's don't take that with you. Okay.
You know what? I just might now.
Listen, no,
I'm going to take you with me.
Don't do it.
I have been
Don't
in
do
it
it.
literally turned on my projector by headbutting it.
Stained would
times.
probably remain a one hit wonder with Mud Shovel had it not been for It's Been a While. But they're actually and I had a road trip yesterday and talking to one of the guys riding with me, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to the Stained show coming up in August with Godsmack." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Cool." He's like, one of their very latest single came out. It's like, I hear that they're angry, and I'm like, they have a whole album they dropped in 2011 that's angry. He's like, what? So we listened to this album that he had no idea existed.
Wow.
Right.
Because after It's Been a While,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Lewis, sorry buddy,
Yeah.
went really soft. Released
went
2 other
country.
albums, including
He literally went country.
75, went solo in country, came back and released the self-titled, and then as soon as they did like a 6-week tour, went on
Mhm.
hiatus. So the album just went whoosh, right under the rug.
Right. But I mean, there's a very large swath of what people could define for themselves.
Right.
And I think we've established that as a one-hit wonder and what they constitute as a one-hit wonder.
Hey, this is a fun topic, man.
This is.
Yeah.
This has been
So
a
what,
fun
what are we
topic.
talking about next week? Where are we at here? I lost track of time.
We're
I
pretty
think-
much right about
Yeah, I
on
think
spot.
we're about wrap up.
What are you talking about next week? Let's talk. We had something. What was it earlier? What did we talk about? We all forgot it already, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Covers of covers.
There you
Yeah,
go.
covers
Remakes.
of covers.
Remakes.
Covers and remakes
Remakes.
and remixes. How about
So
that?
5 Finger Death Punch. No.
And on that
Save that.
and on that note,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
everybody.
Just a time for the goodbye.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can tell everybody you love their guts.
I love your guts, and
There
I'm
you
sorry
go.
I had
There you
to-
go.
I
Hold on,
really had to
wait,
go, guys.
That
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
come out the same. You got to say it.
I love your guts. Bye.
All right, bye everybody.
Later, everyone. We'll see you next week.
I'm sorry, I'm not good enough.
Thank you for listening to Actually Controller. If you liked what you heard, please consider following us on all our socials. You can easily find us on all the different platforms by going to linktree/controller33 or scan the QR code if you are watching the video version of this episode. Thank you.